The homeowner association lady broke my disabled daughter's neck over flower boxes. She did not know I used to be a federal judge. My sweet Emma, only 5 years old, just wanted to garden from her wheelchair. Now, she cannot move at all. But I know exactly how to fight back. Before watching full story, comment below from where you watching. Also like, subscribe for more Karen stories. Get these ugly boxes out of your yard now. The angry woman in the blue suit shouted at my 5-year-old daughter Emma. They break our neighborhood rules. Emma started crying in her pink wheelchair. Her little hands clutched the flowers she was planting. These are for my daughter, I said, stepping between them. She is disabled and this garden helps her. I do not care, said Mrs. Davis, waving her clipboard. I am the homeowner association president, and I say they make our fancy neighborhood look bad. Remove them in 3 days or pay fines. I never thought I would use my judge training to fight for my daughter's life. But when that homeowner association lady hurt my little girl days later, something in me snapped. My little Emma is only 5 years old. She was born with special needs that make her legs not work right. She needs her wheelchair to move around. But that never stopped. Her big smile, her laugh sounds like little bells, and her eyes shine when she is happy. She loves flowers more than anything in the world. When we moved to Green Valley neighborhood last summer, I built Emma a special garden. She could reach from her wheelchair. I am James Miller, and until 2 years ago, I was a federal judge. I gave up that big job to take care of Emma after her mom died of cancer. It is just the two of us now. Dad, can we work in the garden today? Lily asked that fateful morning, her voice filled with excitement as she maneuvered her wheelchair toward our breakfast table. Gardening had become our special activity, a father-daughter bond that brought her immeasurable happiness. Of course, sweetheart, I replied, placing a plate of pancakes in front of her. Those sunflowers you planted last week need checking. Lily's garden was her sanctuary when we moved to Oak Ridge Estates after my retirement. Transforming the backyard into an accessible garden was our first project. Raised flower beds allowed Lily to tend her plants from her wheelchair. A small fountain attracted butterflies and birds she loved watching. It was not elaborate by Oak Ridge's ostentatious standards, but it was Lily's paradise. 2 days after Mrs. Davis first yelled at us about the garden, I went to the homeowner association office and tried to explain about disability laws. I sent them papers about Emma's condition and why her garden helped her. The office lady was nice, but said Mrs. Davis never changes her mind once she decides something. Emma got very sad. She stopped asking to go outside to see her flowers. She jumped every time the doorbell rang. Daddy, why does not Mrs. Davis like me? Emma asked that night as I tucked her Elsa doll beside her. Her question made my stomach hurt. Some people do not understand different things, honey, I said, trying not to cry. But we are going to fix this. Not everyone is like Mrs. Davis. The next day, I went to the store to buy milk and bread. When I came back, I heard Emma screaming from the backyard. I dropped all my bags and ran outside. What I saw made my whole body go cold. Emma's wheelchair was turned over. My little girl was lying on the ground with her neck bent in a scary way. Her flowers were crushed all around her. Mrs. Davis was standing there with a measuring tape in her hand, looking shocked. Mrs. Davis rolled her eyes like I was being stupid. I do not care if she is disabled. Rules are rules. These boxes make our nice neighborhood look bad. And these butterfly plants bring bugs that bother people. My daughter has rights. Under disability laws, I said, feeling my face get hot. These garden boxes help her. You have 3 days to remove everything, Mrs. Davis interrupted, waving her clipboard in my face. After that, we find you 100 every day until you fix it. But I started to say no exceptions, she snapped, already walking away. Some people think having a special needs kid means they do not have to follow rules. When she left, Emma was crying hard, her little shoulders shaking. Daddy, will they take my flowers away? She sobbed. Did I do something bad? My heart felt like it was breaking. I hugged my little girl close. No, sweetheart, you did nothing wrong. Those are your flowers, and nobody is taking them away. I promise. Little did I know how desperately I would fight to keep That promise. The next day, called the homeowner association office and tried to explain about disability laws. I sent them papers about Emma's condition and why her garden helped her. The office lady was nice, but said Mrs. Davis never changes her mind once she decides something. Emma got very sad. She stopped asking to go outside to see her flowers. She jumped every time the doorbell rang. "Daddy, why does not Mrs. Davis like me?" Emma asked that night as I tucked her Elsa doll beside her. Her question made my stomach hurt. "Some people do not understand different things." "Honey," I said, trying not to cry, "but we are going to fix this. Not everyone is like Mrs. Davis." 2 days later, I went to the store to buy milk and bread. When I came back, I heard Emma screaming from the backyard. I dropped all my bags and ran outside. What I saw made my whole body go cold. Emma's wheelchair was turned over. My little girl was lying on the ground with her neck bent in a scary way. Her flowers were crushed all around her. Mrs. Davis was standing there with a measuring tape in her hand, looking shocked. "I was just measuring to document the violations," she stammered as I ran to Emma. She came outside and started crying. I told her I had the right to be here as homeowner association president. Then she tried to push her wheelchair at me and it tipped over. I did not touch her. I swear I could not even answer her. I just focused on my baby girl who was crying in pain. "Do not move, princess," I whispered, calling 911 on my phone. "Help is coming." Everything after that was like a bad dream. The loud ambulance, the busy hospital, doctors taking pictures of Emma's neck, nurses with sad faces. I sat in a plastic chair, feeling like I might throw up. When the doctor finally came to talk to me, his face looked very serious. "Mr. Miller, his neck is broken," he said quietly. "We put a special collar on her, but there is damage to her spinal cord. We need to do surgery right away." "Will she be okay?" I asked, my voice shaking. The doctor put his hand on my shoulder. "She is a strong little girl, but I have to tell you the truth. Even with surgery, she might not be able to move her body below her neck again." I felt something break inside me. My little Emma, my baby, all because she wanted a garden. All because one mean woman thought her flower boxes were ugly. Emma's surgery took 6 hours. I sat in the waiting room praying and thinking about what to do next. When the doctor came out, he said the surgery went okay, but not great. For 2 weeks, I slept in a chair next to Emma's hospital bed. She was on strong medicine for pain. The doctors told me the bad news. My little girl would never move her arms or legs again. My happy, flower-loving Emma would never be able to touch her flowers again. Some neighbors came to visit. They brought teddy bears and food. A few homeowner association people came too. Nervous, Mrs. Davis sent a card, but never came in person. When I went home to get clean clothes, I found a letter from the homeowner association saying they would not make us remove the garden for now because of the accident. I threw the letter against the wall and cried. The next morning, I made 3 important phone calls. First, I called my old friend Tom Jackson, the toughest lawyer in the state. Second, I called Maria Lopez, a reporter for our city newspaper, who once promised to help me if I ever needed it. Third, I called my old assistant from my judge days, who now worked for the government civil rights office. Then I gathered proof. I had security camera videos showing Mrs. Davis coming into our yard without permission. I had homeowner association meeting notes where she called Emma's garden an ugly eyesore. I had all the emails where I explained Emma's disability and asked for permission. And I had Emma's medical reports showing how bad her injury was. When Emma was a little stronger and moved to a special children's hospital, I started my plan. The lawsuit was huge. Tom filed papers suing Mrs. Davis and the homeowner association for $20 million. He also said they broke federal laws that protect disabled people. The lawsuit showed how they were mean to Emma because of her disability and how it led to her terrible injury. At the same time, Maria's newspaper story came out with the headline "Homeowner Association President's Actions Lead to 5-Year-Old Paralysis." She found other families with disabled members who said the homeowner association was mean to them too. The story was on TV news all over the country. Then the government announced they were investigating our neighborhood for breaking disability laws. They said the homeowner association could face millions in fines. I made sure everyone knew I used to be a federal judge, Tom told reporters, and wrote in court papers that I had been a judge who worked on disability rights cases. Everyone realized Mrs. Davis had picked on the worst possible person, someone who knew the law and how to fight back. The homeowner association's insurance company tried to settle quickly. I said, no, the homeowner association board fired Mrs. Davis as president to try to save themselves. But I kept pushing. This was not just about money. I wanted to make sure no other child would ever get hurt like Emma. When Mrs. Davis had to answer questions from our lawyer, I made sure I was there. She looked very different now. No fancy clothes or perfect hair. She looked tired and scared as Tom asked her hard questions about what she did to Emma and how she treated other disabled people. She started to cry. I did not mean for the little girl to get hurt, she sobbed. I just wanted our neighborhood to look nice. That was my job. Nice for who? I asked her the first time I talked to her since Emma got hurt. Not nice for my 5-year-old daughter. Not nice for disabled people or old people or anyone who does not fit what you think looks good. She looked at me with sad eyes. But it was too late for sorry people made me homeowner association president. To keep our houses worth lots of money, she said quietly. And now, house prices are dropping because you hurt a little girl. I said the government takes disability rights very seriously. And so do I. The case never went to court. The homeowner association and Mrs. Davis knew they would lose. They agreed to pay a lot of money and promised to change their rules. The money pays for all of Emma's medical care forever. We also started a special fund to help other disabled kids who face mean rules. The homeowner association had to make a new committee with disabled people on it. All homeowner association members now have to take classes every year about disability rights. Mrs. Davis sold her house for much less than she paid and moved away. Nobody in town would talk to her anymore. I did not feel happy about ruining her life. It could not fix Emma's neck. 1 year later, we had a big party in our yard. Everyone from town came as we opened Emma's garden. A big, beautiful garden that now covered our yard, and 2 yards next door that we bought with the settlement money. Emma, now using a special wheelchair she controls by blowing into a tube, cut the ribbon. She cannot move her body, but she still smiles just as bright. This is a garden for everyone, she said in her sweet little voice. Even if you are different like me, everyone can grow flowers here. I watched as old people, kids in wheelchairs, and regular neighbors all planted flowers together. I realized something important. Getting justice in court was good, but not enough. Real justice grows slowly like Emma's flowers, one person changing at a time. Sometimes at night, I still get so angry about what happened to my little girl. But in the morning, I see Emma in her wheelchair telling volunteers which flowers butterflies like best. And I know we made something good from something terrible. Mrs. Davis broke my daughter's neck, not knowing I was an ex-federal judge who knew how to fight back. But she could not break Emma's spirit or stop us from making sure this never happens to another child. In Emma's garden, all the flowers are beautiful, no matter how they grow.